Hello and welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. Today I'm going to show you how to record in Pro Tools. So we're going to record over a 2-track. It's a drill and B type track. Let's hop straight into Pro Tools. So here's what it looks like. So firstly, just drag your file from whatever folder it's in and just left click and drag it into Pro Tools. From here, you want to know what the tempo actually is. So the tempo of this track is 144. So in the top right here, you could double click or just left click and then type in the number of your tempo. So that should match the tempo of the beat. So now when I hit play, you won't know if it matches the tempo. So what we have to do, just to double check, is click on track, create click track, and it will create this click sound, basically, that will click to the tempo. So this lets me know I'm at 140 for sure. If I turn the beat down. So that's just a double check to make sure your tempo is actually what you think it is. We're going to turn that off while recording. We don't really need that unless you need something to count into. You could use that as like a quick little a guideline, I guess. So I'll keep it in the background until it gets annoying. Secondly, what we want to do is set up our microphone. So I have a mic for the video recording, but we're going to set up a mic from scratch. So let's hit Control-Shift-N. If you're on Mac, it's Command-Shift-N. And then we're going to create a mono track. So mono means one. In short, most microphones are mono, unless you're recording like a drum kit that has a special mic like that. You're going to do mono. Okay, we're going to do mono audio track, which is audio meaning like vocals and stuff, or synth audio or drum audio. We're going to go audio track, and let's just call this, let's double click, call it vocals. Okay, now vocals is very vague. Let's call this like lead vocal, just so we know that's the main stage vocal. Okay, from here, we need to actually turn the microphone on. So let's click over where it says here, this is your interface, okay, or your input, I should say. Now my interface has a bunch of inputs. Yours completely different. My microphone is plugged into the first input into my interface, okay, but I'm going to use a different microphone because I have two microphones plugged up. We're going to use mic 2 in this case because mic 1 I'm using for this tutorial recording. I don't know why I can't speak today. So click here. We're going to go to interface number 2, and that will be our what do you call it? Second mic. Okay. So to hear it, we have to hit the icon over here for the monitoring the input. So now if I turn off the main mic, you'll hear me in the second mic. So let me go over to my second mic and talk into it, and you guys will be able to hear me. Hold on. Check. Okay, you hear me in my second mic. So this is more of a recording microphone. It picks up a lot more detail. You can probably hear the sound of my room, which isn't the greatest room to record in, but you can start to hear the background a little bit more. All right, so that's mic 2. Now this is mic 1. This is more, again, set up for a tutorial, so you're not going to hear a bunch of background noise. Now, I don't recommend you record with a noise gate on to get rid of all the background noise as you record. I just say record as is. And you could always use that stuff post-process. Now, in Pro Tools, when you're recording, it's going through plugins, but you could always turn the plugins off. So if you ever record and you want to like turn a plugin off, you could always go back and turn off a plugin. That's the cool part about Pro Tools by default. So let's record something. So firstly, you guys probably are going to be using Auto-Tune because this beat is like, it's an Auto-Tune type beat. So for the lead vocal, what I'll do is use it on this microphone just to set it up. So let's open up Auto-Tune, and we're going to use Auto-Tune in mono. Let me see. Can I find it? Where's Auto-Tune? Do I have Auto-Tune? Pretty sure I have Auto-Tune. Here we go. Okay, so there's so many of them. Okay, so Auto-Tune Pro is what I use, but you could use whichever Auto-Tune you like. I think there's an artist version that people use. Okay, click the settings. Got to use low latency so that it doesn't add a delay. And we want to record. I'm a low male, so we're going to record. It just inputs more frequency. And we're in the key of B major. Now, the thing is, there's another plugin called Auto Key, which I don't have. So if you ever struggle with finding the key, try Auto Key by Antares, because that will help you figure out what actual key and scale to put in here. But this says Auto Key here inside of Auto-Tune Pro, but I don't know what the back end looks like for that. So now when I'm singing into the microphone, let's exaggerate so you guys could actually hear me through B major. So this is what I sound like. This is what I sound like. Let me pull my Kanye Yeezy. Let
Let me pull my Kanye.
Okay, so again, my room is not perfectly treated, so I'm going to record on the other mic just to give you guys what you might have as you're recording. So what we're going to do is, how do I duplicate this bad boy? Okay, hit Alt, left click, and then we're going to drag that down to duplicate the auto-tune setting over to the other microphone. So I want to hear myself. Now, most people want to hear themselves through reverb. So what we're going to do is set up what's called a send. Okay, so before we even get to the send amount, think of each track as a child and think of a bus like an actual school bus going to a school. Now, the final track that you send the kids on the bus to is the school. So in this case, we need to create our metaphorical school. Let's hit Control-Shift-N. Let's go to stereo, meaning that we have a full image. And let's go to where it says aux input. And let's call this like delay. Okay, and let's hit enter. So now on this delay area, all we want to focus is on are the effects, if that's proper grammar. Click here, and we're going to add what's called the mod delay. So we're going to type in, I like to click there and just type it in, mod delay stereo. Very important that we click stereo. Okay, so we're going to have this tempo sync to 144. You don't need to memorize these settings. I'm just making it a little different with the mod depth, which is a pitch bend effect. So now I'm going to send my vocal. I'm going to show you guys how to do this. So you could send, again, my vocal track is considered a child of this project file. So we're going to send this child on bus number 1 and 2 in this case. And we need to tell the bus which school to go to. So firstly, we need to tell the bus how much of our child we want on the bus. I know it sounds crazy, but you could send a percentage of your child to any bus you want. So hit Alt and then left click. So now I'm sending 100% of my track child to the bus number 1 and 2. But bus number 1 and 2 doesn't know where to go. We have to tell it where to go. So let's tell the school called delay that we need to input bus number 1 and 2, giving bus number 1 and 2 a destination, which is the school. Whoa. And now when I talk, there is a delay. Okay, so now you can hear yourself through the delay as you're recording. So that's how you set up a bus in short. And to turn that effect off, just hit Control and just left click it. So we're going to Alt and left click and pull this to our lead vocals so that they're going to that delay when we record. Now to send a different amount, let's say you didn't want that much volume coming out of the delay, you could just turn this down about halfway to send about half of the signal. So it lowers the volume essentially. Okay, so on this delay, I'm going to add another reverb. We're going to click and type in D and then pick Deverb stereo. I will give you guys the project file. So if you're like stressing out trying to follow every step, no worries. Just go to busyworksbeats.com and go to free downloads. Sign up for a free account. It's completely free. And just go to the Google Drive that we have and then go to the project files and then look for Pro Tools. Okay. So here we are going to set this up on whatever the reverb is by default. So now let me demonstrate what it sounds like. So this is what I sound like as I'm recording. So now you can hear yourself through reverb, which is really cool. So again, if you want less of the signal, just pull this down. Okay. You can send less of your child to the bus in this case. So this is how much of my child, metaphorically speaking, we're sending to that bus. Okay, so now you can record with just a little reverb and not too much.
Let's turn on auto-tune. We in a room. We in a room. I feel like Kanye. I'm on the moon. I feel like Cudi, but I'm in June. That mean I'm hot like a balloon. I'm smoking on. He smoking on some of that shroom. He like a goon. Going strong.
So some people like to add more effects. I think that's all you really need is a delay and reverb. I'm not going to record it. The other mic is unnecessary. We're just going to use this mic for now. So let's say the delay is a little too much. Let's go to the delay and let's turn this down just a little bit in the actual plugin. So now it's less bouncy. Or we could just, again, send a different amount to that specific track. So now we can turn this down a little bit. All right, let's come up with some nonsensical vocals here. Let's record. Just hit the record button on the left side and then hit record up top. I like to hit stop twice to take us back to the beginning. Hit this little arrow thing right here with the little pause thing, whatever, just left arrow thingy thing. Takes you all the way back to the beginning. Hit record. Now also you could do loop recording, which will automatically go back to the beginning. I realize I'm talking through auto-tune. Okay, or you could do different modes. I just keep mine on loop record. Hit record, and if you do go through the whole track, let me turn this off for a second. If I sound like Lil Wayne, if you do go through the whole track all day, if you do go through the whole track, and then you keep recording, it will go back to the beginning and start a new recording, and that creates a track list, I believe they call it. Which I'm not versed in that. I still have to practice Pro Tools. This is day 2 of us using Pro Tools. Okay, let's record. And what else do we need to do before we record? I guess that's it, really. All right, so yeah, that's it. Okay, so now we have our effects. Let's turn on auto tune. Let's hit record and hit spacebar.
I'm on the moon.
So let's say you need a count in. I forget how to do count ins, y'all. Dang, where's the count in button? I used to have count in, count off, count in, count off. Okay, so it says count off 2 bars, but I'm not hearing the count. So since I forget how to do it off the top of my head, we're just going to omit that for now. But something you may want to look into is a countdown. So when you record, it doesn't just go into the recording. Like you want to have a little room before you go into the recording. So again, I forget how to do that, y'all. My bad. You go to Wavy Wayne and Help Me Devon for like high level tutorials on Pro Tools. Right now, we're just trying to get the basics. So let's just hit record and do our vocal.
I've been on the moon. Decided in June. I ain't take no shrooms. I stay on the moon. Gang in this platoon. Metro and we boom. I just came through. In the years in this blue.
Freestyle game on 10. I need y'all to like this video for that freestyle game on 10. Okay, here we go. So what we're gonna do is right click, rename this, and let's call this like take 1 or something. Actually, let's call this hot bars 1. And then we're gonna grab this tool up here, click up at the top so it highlights all 3. If you click individually, it only does one of the tools. So click this little bar up top to highlight all 3. Basically, wherever your mouse is over the waveform, it does a different thing. So if I'm at the top, it does a selector thing. If I'm at the bottom, it does a grabby thing. If I'm on the sides, it does a fadey thing. So it does different things depending on where you are. And you could also do like a clip thing over here with this little staple looking icon. Okay, so now we're gonna grab the hand and just drag it down to where it says lead vocal. And now because this track doesn't have all the stuff that the other track has, I'm gonna hit Alt and I'm gonna left click and pull all those effects down. You don't have to do this. This is only because this microphone that I'm talking on needs a little bit more processing that we didn't set up on the other microphone. So I'm just copying these, hit Alt, left click to drag your presets. Okay. Okay, so for this track, we need to turn up the bus amount. Okay, so I couldn't hear the delay because it was so well tucked. So I'm going to turn up the delay and reverb by sending the amount of the child to that bus. I ain't take no shrooms. Okay, so we could process this deeper and deeper, but this mic is not the best mic to record vocals on in the space that I'm in right now. It is a good mic though. But one thing we want to do, let's say we want to add some saturation. So let's say you're like, man, it just needs that extra thing. Let's hit Control Shift N. Let's create another stereo aux track, and let's call this like saturation. So with compression, with vocals, you know, this is not a full-on vocal tutorial mixing video because that will take up too much time. Trying to explain every little tiny detail. I just say get it to sound good and then worry about the details later. What was I gonna say? So we want a little more brightness for this vocal. So let's create another bus. So this will help you understand mixing a little bit more as far as routing. So firstly, everything's gray. It looks depressing. So let's go on the left side here. Click this little arrow thingy thing on the bottom left and highlight all your tracks and hit shift and then click this little color palette thing and then turn it on a different color. Let's make it something brighter. There we go. So now it doesn't look as depressing. Okay. So now we're going to go back, hit enter and then hit space. So I want to send this vocal to another bus. So I'm sending the percentage of the same child to another bus. Okay, so let's send it to bus 3 and 4. Okay, so on 3 and 4, I want that bus to go to the school called saturation. So for the input of the saturation aux channel, we're going to input the bus 3 and 4. So all the kids on bus 3 and 4 go to the saturation school. So on saturation school, we're going to add our favorite saturation plugin. I'm going to use Pro Tools stock stuff, so it's not complicated. Let's pull up real saturation stereo. Okay, for this specific. Whenever I'm sending to an aux track, I usually do stereo stuff because stuff like delay and reverb needs a stereo, and chorus it needs stereo. So you can send a mono sound to a stereo bus. I know that's confusing, but anyhow, we're gonna crank the input of this plugin here. Firstly, we need to send our vocal to bus 3 and 4. So what I'll do so you guys can hear it is turn off the output of the vocal so that you only hear the sent vocal to the saturators and the delay and reverb. Actually, let's mute the delay and reverb. So now all you hear is this tape plugin. So I don't think enough signals being driven to this tape for it to actually sound edgy. So what I'm going to do is add, I don't know if they have a gain plugin or maybe we'll just do an EQ. We just need a simple volume. Actually, we could use the fader, Okay, so let's go to the vocal. Go to bus 3 and 4 and let's crank this up. See, the more I push it, it goes zzz. Okay, so by default, it didn't really hit the tape hard enough. So it sounds normal. Now you can hear that zzz. But see, we didn't push it hard enough. So part of tape is pushing it hard enough into the tape. So I'll exaggerate the effect. So I like that sound, but it's too mono. It's too like interface. So one plugin I really love is called the Air Chorus. I was shocked at how many plugins come with Pro Tools. And again, you can get Pro Tools Intro for free. Just click the link below. It's completely free. It has a 30-day trial, I think. So here we have Chorus. And we're just widening out that saturation so it's not so like dead center. Okay, now let's turn on our effects again. Let's have output. Don't worry about that output. This is just... Okay, and we need to turn on this. And now we need to control how much saturation. Actually, not how much saturation, but how much volume goes out of the saturator. So the saturator, this is a unique case in that we need the volume. So let's say we want to turn down the saturation, which is what we want to do right here. Most people would go to their send and turn that down, but what that's going to do is actually affect the saturated sound. It's not going to sound saturated. We need the volume to be loud going out to the saturator. We need the volume to be lower coming out of the saturator. So let's lower the actual track of the saturator so that we just lower the effect, but we don't take away the effect. Got a little trippy red on that one.
I've been on the moon. This out in June. I ain't take no shrooms. I stay on the moon. Gang in this platoon. Metro and we boom. I just came through.
All right, so my voice is really low compared to most people. So there's different vocal templates for different people. So don't take this as like the gospel on how to mix vocals.
I've been on the moon.
So we're gonna boost the highs of the saturator. So I'm just moving quickly here because I just want to finish this video. I don't want to make this too long.
This out in June. I ain't take no shrooms. I stay on the moon. Gang in this platoon. Metro and we boom. I I just came through. In the years and it's blue. I've been on the moon.
Now we just need to level.
Decided in June.
Most people have their beats way too loud.
I ain't take no shrooms. I stay on the moon. Gang in this platoon. Metro and we boom. I just came through. In the years and it's blue. I've been on the moon. Decided in June.
One last track you might want to look into is a parallel compressor. Again, this is starting to turn into a vocal mixing more than recording video. So I don't want to make this like gospel because some people will take this as gospel. So let's do a stereo. Let's do audio track. Now, technically it's a mono signal on the compressor. Why is this glitching? I guess that doesn't want us to work with it. So let me go back. So I'm setting up a parallel compressor. Basically, it's another aux track, and then we're going to send the vocal to that track and just blend it in. That's basically what we're doing. I'll move a little bit quicker here because, again, this is not a vocal mixing tutorial.
I've been on the moon. Decided in June. I ain't take no shrooms. I stay on the moon. Gang in this platoon. Metro and we boom. I just came through. In the years and it's blue. I've been on the moon. Decided in June. I ain't take no shrooms. I stay on the moon. Gang in this platoon. Metro and we boom. I just came through. In the years and it's blue. I've been on the moon. Decided in June.
I accidentally created an audio track. Whoops, let's do that again, but let's create an aux track this time. I was moving too fast.
I ain't take no shrooms. I stay on the moon. Gang in this platoon. Metro and we boom. I just came through. In the years and it's blue. I've been on the moon. Decided in June. I ain't take no shrooms. I stay on the moon. Gang in this platoon. Metro and we boom.
So on this one, I'm overly compressing the additional track to pull out tone and character.
I just came through. In the years and it's blue. I've been on the moon. Decided in June. I ain't take no shrooms. Gang in this platoon. Metro and we boom. Decided in June. I ain't take no shrooms. I stay on the moon.
So again, this is not the vocal chain. This is just what I'm using to record. So if you struggle with vocal chains, try compression first, then EQ, then all your creative effects. So compression, EQ, then creative effects.
Gang in this platoon. Metro and we boom. I just came through. In the years and it's blue. I've been on the moon. Decided in June. I ain't take no shrooms. I stay on the moon. Gang in this platoon. Metro and we boom. I just came through. In the years in this blue. I've been on the moon. Decided in June. I ain't take no shrooms. I stay on the moon. Gang in this platoon. Metro and we boom. I just came through. In the years in this blue. I've been on the moon. Decided in June. I ain't take no shrooms. I stay on the moon. Gang in this platoon. Metro and we boom. I just came through. In the years in this blue. I've been on the moon. Decided in June. I ain't take no shrooms. I stay on the moon. Gang in this platoon. Metro and we boom. I just came through. In the years in this blue. I've been on the moon. Decided in June. I ain't take no shrooms. I stay on the moon. Gang in this platoon. Metro and we boom. I just came through. In the years in this blue. I've been on the moon. Decided in June. I ain't take no shrooms. I stay on the moon. Gang in this platoon. Metro and we boom. I just came through. In the years in this blue. I've been on the moon. Decided in June. I ain't take no shrooms. I stay on the moon. Gang in this platoon. Metro and we boom. I just came through. In the years in this blue.
All right, so I took this into a mixing tutorial plus a recording tutorial. Hopefully you guys liked it. Go to busyworksbeats.com to get these project files. Once you sign up for free, click on the free downloads tab and just make sure you go to the project files folder, look for Pro Tools, and it'll be in there. It's going to be called Recording in Pro Tools. Thank you guys for watching. It's Game from busyworksbeats.com. Peace.